What's up, everybody? Alex here from Heavy New York and Alto Music. We are here at the Dragonforce at the Highline Ballroom, or the RV outside of it, and we got Logan Mader from Once Human. Thank you so much for being here, man.
Hi.
So first things always first, Evolution. The sophomore record is out. How's the record cycle been so far?
It's been amazing so far. It was a bit slow to get out on the road. We didn't start touring until May.
Yeah.
But once we got out, we've been out ever since. And the touring's been great. We did a run with Xandria and Cobra and the Lotus, which was really fun. They were all
awesome.
Great people. And were you at the New York show?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That was like the first show of that tour. It went really well for us. We were like the heaviest band on the tour, so we didn't know how that was going to go. But their fans were really open-minded, and they liked us, and we did well on it. So it was fun, and we became friends with all the members of all the bands on the tour. So that's always nice. And then we did a little short run with Wednesday 13 and Gabriel and the Apocalypse here in America, just before jumping on the Dragonforce tour, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Now, this is the sophomore record of Once Human. So when recording this, did you want to kind of make a follow-up to the Life I Remember record, or were you trying to kind of do something brand new and shock the people who listened to the first one?
We wanted to forget about the Life I Remember and make a really good record.
That record was awesome.
Yeah, it's almost pretty good, but we went a big step forward with Evolution. Number of reasons. One big reason, Max Karen, our new guitar player, he came in and
Happy birthday, Max.
Today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Max. We got him a fish. He likes to punch fish. So I went over here and got him a fish to punch. He's an amazing guitar player and super cool guy. After the Evolution cycle, which was quite short, we met Max while touring on Evolution. He was a guitar tech for Fear Factory, and we became friends with him because he's really likable, funny guy, like super funny comedian, super awesome, weird, quirky alien. And then we find out he's an amazing guitar player and songwriter because he played us some stuff that he wrote while we were on tour, and so we made steps towards collaborating with him, maybe just as an outside writer. We wanted to write music with him, so we did that, and it was turning out amazing. So eventually he started falling in love with the idea of being in the band, so he's in the band now, and so we did the whole record with him. He wrote a lot of it, and then so he's a big part of that, as well as Lauren really stepped up her vocal performance abilities and her lyric writing. You can hear it. She's does a much deeper, lower guttural growl now that she really didn't know she could do before, like touring, and it sounds more brutal and more powerful. And then her lyrical concepts and just the lyrics themselves are quite a bit more intelligent and thought-provoking and powerful. And so that was an improvement. And then, me as well, I had to step up my game, just to sort of like stand next to Max, because he's like, his riffs are just like out of this fucking world.
And he was using Dino's guitar, I noticed, at the last tour, right? The DCM 100s.
Yeah, actually Dino loaned him that guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got an Ibanez endorsement, and his guitars weren't ready yet because of something about rosewood. Like, it became endangered, so like all the guitars got stuck in the shipping containers, and he didn't get his new guitars until he's got them now. But yeah, Dino came through, let him borrow a guitar. Yeah, so we just like had to raise our standards with the songwriting on this album, and so we really did that, in my opinion. And then sonically, it's a lot better sounding. It's heavier and bigger sounding, and yeah. So I feel like in a lot of ways, we've found our identity. Like, now we have our unique identity as a metal band, whereas the first record was like Lauren's first time in the studio and my first time picking up the guitar as a passion, like for many years, because I was just in the studio making records.
Yeah.
And I really wouldn't play guitar that much, only when I had to, kind of thing, you know? So I got my guitar passion back and got my chops up, and now I'm rocking, so.
And for those of you who don't know, I know that you've aside from What's You Mean, you were originally in Machine Head, you played with Soulfly, and now with this project you were featured on Roadrunner United, and you produce so many records. So, how different of a mind frame is it in this particular project as opposed to like Machine Head or Soulfly or any of the other projects you were in?
Well, there's a lot of differences. I mean, where do I begin? Like, well, for one, this is 2017, and I've started a new band. This is not easy to do. With Machine Head, that was my first band. I was a founding member, and that was a different time in the industry. Also, was very lucky to have so much overnight success with that band. It's like it really doesn't happen that often. It's not happening for Once Human. It doesn't happen to a lot of bands. It's one in a million thing. So we are working towards building up to that point, but it's a slower process. It's not an overnight thing. So that's one of the big differences. But for me, it's okay because I'm enjoying the process, and it just feels good to be playing again. And every tour we do, we make progress, big progress. So it's not like a dead end thing I'm trying to chase. Like it's actually starting to work. And but ultimately, my life doesn't depend on it. I mean, I'm producing and mixing, and I can also live and do this. I'm even like mixing while on the road. I got a mobile Pro Tools rig. And everything I have at home, I have here, so I can keep working when I have time to do mixes and stuff like for clients on the road. And then, I mean, I'm older now, and I have a lot more experience in life and in the music business, both as a musician and behind the scenes as a producer and a manager and like talent developer and composer. I've done a couple of movies and stuff, video game music, and I've done a lot of music stuff. And so when I was in Machine Head, I was like a 20-year-old kid with a guitar. It was a different perspective. My perspective is different now. So yeah, I don't know. It's cool. My band they're all kind of young and doing this for the first time. So I'm leading. I'm also the tour manager, and so I'm the manager for Once Human.
Doing it all.
Well, yeah, I have to because I can. And it's nice to sort of like they're really good people. I really love them. We're good friends. The band and shows. I think on stage at shows, and as we go through the world together, it's fun. It's a fun adventure for everybody. So that makes it worth it, even if that's all it is. It's a good life experience.
Exactly. And there's a lot of musicians who also produce. Like I know that Adam D from Killswitch Engage does a lot of production as well. You do your production. When you are working on music for other people, are you in like a bit of a different mind frame as opposed to working on the music that you're playing on stage?
Well, I mean, when I'm producing for a band, my job is to enhance what they are and make what they want to do as good as I think it could be. And so it's unique and proprietary to the artist. So every band is different, and I try to treat them all uniquely. With Once Human, it's like I don't know, but I'm at the point where I can because I'm an engineer as well, and I have to do all the recording and editing and all that. So I'm at a point where I can do all the technical stuff just on autopilot and keep my head in the creative mode. When I was a younger producer, I would sometimes have trouble keeping my head around running the ship from a technical standpoint, as opposed to being creative about the song and what does the song need or what does the part need, kind of thing. And I sort of do it all simultaneously now, or have been for several years. But I think I bring all of my experience as a producer and engineer and mixer. I bring it with me every step of the way. So I like to build it, my skill set, and get better every time I do something, even if it's a similar kind of thing to do. So I put everything I know into it. Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, as you mentioned before, Once Human is pretty much a very heavy band. Like I know you've toured with Fear Factory before, and you've toured with some heavier bands, but you also did the Xandria show, and you're with Dragonforce now, which is very different. But I think you do have a lot of appeal to it. Like, were you ever at all worried? Like, I could picture you both on Summer Slaughter, but I could also see you you can clearly go on a tour with Epica or Lacuna Coil at this point.
Yeah, I think. It's interesting that I guess I guess somehow we can translate into different audiences. I mean, sometimes you see like metal fans are really divided into subgenres and like scenes and stuff, but so far we've experienced like fans that are pretty open-minded. I think having a female front person, it opens doors in some ways, which is nice. I mean, like 10 years ago, it would close a lot of doors, but nowadays it's very much respected and accepted. I think that has a lot to do with why we can hang with heavier bands or with because we are heavy, but also hang with bands that are more melodic. And I mean, our music is really melodic, and tasteful, and it's not fucking grindcore or deathcore, but it's heavy as fuck, but it's also melodic and dynamic. So I don't know, it's working.
Yeah. Did that happen kind of like subjectively, or did you kind of go into the studio and go, "This is what we want to do"? Like, did this happen like subconsciously? Or?
It just happened. I don't know.
Like all great things.
It just starts with like riffs and strings of riffs, and the songs kind of like speak for themselves. They go, they go where they want to go, and we hold their hand and take them there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So before we go, just one last question. First of all, thank you again so much for being here. This is in 2 months, like this is your second time in New York City. We just would like to curious, what's your taste of New York City metal?
New York is an amazing metal city. Every time I've come here with every band I've ever played with, it's been amazing. Yeah, it's great. Like there's a great metal scene here. I mean, I don't know the details of it or how it's evolved or changed over the years, but every time Machine Head would play here, it was amazing, and with Soulfly, it was amazing. We did that one show, and that was really good for us. I think tonight's going to be good. I think New York metal fans have a really good appreciation for music. You might, sometimes you might think because LA is can be a little bit weird.
Really?
Yeah, because everyone's in a band, or is an actor, or is a producer, or everyone's in the industry, and so you don't get just as much of a crowd. Sometimes you don't get as much of a crowd where they just love the music. They're there for the music, Really? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I never really thought of it that way.
Yeah, New York is not like that. You might think it was because it's New York. It's like a big creative industry city. But I mean, I love LA. It's like my home, and, but playing there can be. Well, we avoided playing there once human for a long time actually.
Really?
But for that reason, yeah. So we didn't. Our first show in LA was just on Wednesday 13th. It was like a month ago.
Really?
And we've been a band for 3 years from LA.
Yeah. I've never heard that story before.
But we played in Orange County once before that, but that was only in February or March.
Yeah.
That was like less than a year ago. But that's Orange County. It's not like LA. Really.
Yeah.
It's close, but it's not LA.
It's kind of weird. Red Hot Chili Peppers has to brag about how they're from California all the time. And
Well, I'm not dissing LA. Don't get me wrong.
Disclaimer.
I love LA. I love LA for everything that it is, and it's my home. It's a beautiful place, and there's a lot to do there, a lot of work, and a lot of creativity, and good weather and stuff. And but yeah, it's I've always known that music scene to have that thing about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just want to truly thank you so much for being here.
Man.
It was great to have you here.
Yeah.
Everybody, Logan Mader of Once Human. Be sure to pick up the new record, Evolution. It is absolutely kick-ass. You are missing out if you haven't checked it out, everybody, and we will see you next time on Heavy New York.
And you can find us on Facebook.com/OnceHuman and Instagram @OnceHuman. Like us. We want to be liked.
And I promise you, you will like them.